Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Goal MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. Gentlemen, welcome to draft night. It is the WWE Draft, Smackdown Live, and more importantly, we got AEW Rampage, but we do kick it off with Smackdown, and we didn't even hesitate. We dove headfirst right into the draft. And here we go. Round one. Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville both respectively made the announcements. Sonya for SmackDown, Adam Pearce for Raw. No Stephanie McMahon this year. And we started off round number one, SmackDown, with the first overall pick. And they select the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Reigns stays with SmackDown, and consequently, it goes to Monday Night Raw, and Monday Night Raw goes, and they select the WWE Champion, Big E. So, as you can tell, Universal Championship stays with SmackDown. The WWE title will remain on Monday Night Raw. Then, SmackDown hits the first bomb of the night as they select with their second pick in round number one, Charlotte Flair, the Raw Women's Champion. Woo! She is now back home. The Queen is SmackDown Blue. But Monday Night Raw, they get their second pick, and it was a bomb for them. The EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, is going to Monday Night Raw. Oh my goodness. Then after that, we had a promo by Roman Reigns, interrupted by Brock Lesnar. And oh my goodness, what a way to start this show. Okay, as far as the draft picks go, I think the only shockers were Charlotte going to SmackDown, Bianca going to Raw. I think that was the only major bombshells that were dropped. And if you notice, as of right now, SmackDown Live have both the Raw Women's Champion and SmackDown Women's Champion on the same show. That is very interesting for SmackDown. That's great news for us, but you kind of got a feeling now that something bad is coming down the pipeline. Either Bianca's taking the belt is going to win the belt and take the belt to Raw, or we might be very possibly losing Becky Lynch, and that's going to be a devastating blow if we lose Becky Lynch. But as of right now, you could say if you're SmackDown, you got the two most polarizing figures on the show. If you're Monday Night Raw, you're getting two of the most exciting individuals on the roster right now. So technically, if you think about it, it's a win-win both ways. Charlotte going to SmackDown. Network executives from Fox, I know for a fact, wanted Charlotte Flair. They wanted the Queen back. They got her. They wanted to keep Roman Reigns. They kept him. So if you're for Fox, you're ecstatic with the news right about now. To see Charlotte and Roman on SmackDown wearing the SmackDown blue, hey, for me, I'm ecstatic. I'm very pleased with round one. I can't be any mad with it. And then with the promo and everything else, this was a solid start to SmackDown. Anthony Florio, it is yours for Monday Night Raw, for your show, the WWE Champion Big E. But more importantly, you now have a diamond in the rough, the EST, of WWE, Bianca Belair, is now heading to Monday Night Raw.
And what a and what a shot in the arm, a much needed shot in the arm for the women's division of Monday Night Raw, getting the EST, a future Raw Women's Champion, mind you. There's no doubt about that. Whatever happens with that, but for right here and now, and Big E, of course, staying, which is no surprise. He is the WWE champion. That makes all the sense in the world, and I for one couldn't be any more delighted. I was very pleased with both of the picks, and but as far as everything here, everything about the start of the show was straight fire. From the draft picks, which shook things up right away by swapping the two women most associated with their respective brands. From there, Roman's entrance, the face-to-face, eye-to-eye, nose-to-nose, MF stare down with Lesnar, and the physicality that it bred further captivated the audience. This was a superb start to the show and a reminder that WWE can do explosive, interesting, and engaging television when it wants to. Reigns versus Lesnar is a generation-defining feud that has helped establish the former as the main event star and almost always delivers. It will be interesting to see if those two can create magic in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel, a show not necessarily synonymous with great or even terribly memorable matches. But I got a good feeling about this one for some odd reason. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But for right now, great start for everything, and MF and I very pleased with both of our picks. I mean, the slight edge goes to Smackdown here because you got the most dominant male superstar right now. You got the most dominant woman, Roman and the Queen, and hey, I've got two future stars. Well, Big E's been around for a while, but I got a future face of the women's division in Bianca Belair, and I couldn't be any more happier about that. I love her ability. I love her athleticism, and she would be a welcome addition and a major shot in the arm for the women's division of Monday Night Raw. So very pleased here. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, what a great way to start off draft night, coming off a rare SmackDown chat. We don't really have SmackDown chats much anymore, but we had one tonight, and we couldn't have picked a better night. What a way to start.
Yeah, definitely a great way to start. I mean, yeah, no big surprise with the first two, with Roman Reigns obviously staying with SmackDown, and of course Big E, the WWE champions, on Raw. But yeah, as soon as I heard Charlotte Flair, I'm like, whoa. And then what goes through my mind is what does the future hold? I mean, and Fletch said there is a possibility maybe Becky Lynch could head to Raw. I mean,
they do a belt and perhaps do a belt swap like New Day and Street Profits did last year with the tag titles.
Yeah, that's a possibility, but we still got another night of the draft. I mean, we don't know if that's going to happen, but I don't know. I mean, a lot depends on what goes down on Monday night for night 2 of this draft. And then of course, yeah, Florio, you definitely got a diamond in the rough with Bianca Belair, a future Raw Women's Champion somewhere down the line. And then that promo with Lesnar and Reigns, obviously trying to build up for their crown jewel match for the Universal Championship. And of course, let's just say, Fletch, where did Roman Reigns go to?
The blue brand.
No. When it comes to Brock Lesnar, where did Roman Reigns?
He got a first class trip to Suplex City, bitch.
Exactly. That's what I was looking for there.
All right,
and,
I got
you. Yeah, and they weren't and he wasn't the only one. The Usos, well, they tried to get involved, and
they got killed.
Well, yeah, they got a trip to Suplex City as well. And yeah, so I'm interested to see how this all goes down, because this time around with Roman as the heel and Lesnar as the baby face. So yeah, so we'll wait and see how it all goes down. So there's really nothing more to say, Fletch. Let's move on.
Yeah, indeed. So after that, we did have our first match of the evening. Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss went up against Kevin Owens, and Happy Corbin wins the match. 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Anthony, it's yours.
2.5 stars for this. It doesn't feel like WWE knows what it's doing with the Corbin character. One of the best characters earlier in the summer has evolved into a money-hungry, overly happy mess with a sidekick that absolutely no one asked for. Kevin Owens feels like a performer on his way out, AEW. His contract is up shortly. He's not really involved in any major storylines, and he has been presented more as a means to getting Corbin's new persona over than anything. He has earned better than that, but for now, looks poised to wander along with nowhere to go. Damn you, creative. Damn you. That's all I can say on that. So with that being said, 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 2.5 stars. Fine match, but yeah, I agree with everything you said, Florio. I mean, Kevin Owens deserves way better than this. I mean, nobody wanted to see Riddick Moss around, but unfortunately, we got it. And yeah, so if Kevin Owens' contract is up, who knows? I think he should go to AEW or maybe Impact or Ring of Honor, because I mean the beginning of his career was so good, but lately he's being treated like a nobody. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're absolutely right. This was tough. This is tough to watch. 2.5 stars is the rating. I'll give you that. And we move on to round 2 of the draft. We started off with Smackdown. It was expected. We were for us Smackdown fans, we were hoping and praying for this moment. It has actually happened. The Scottish psychopath, the Scottish warrior, Drew McIntyre, is going to SmackDown. He was the first pick in round number 2. Then Monday Night Raw in turn, they ended up getting Randy Orton and Riddle as a team. RK Bro, the Raw Tag Team Champion, stays on Monday night. No big surprise there. Then a bomb comes out as SmackDown gets Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. The New Day gets split up again. A short reunion. This time it's Kofi and Woods. They go to SmackDown. Big E is left on Monday Night Raw on his own again. But going with Big E, going with Riddle and Orton is none other than the rated R superstar Edge. Edge goes to Monday Night Raw to end the second round. This is actually kind of a wash here because, again, big name going to SmackDown in Drew McIntyre, big name going to Monday Night Raw with Edge, and then you got a pair of tag teams just getting flipped. Orton and Riddle stays on Monday Night Raw. However, the tag team division on SmackDown just got a little more competitive, more better with the insertion of the New Day. You can probably say round 2 goes to SmackDown just because of the fact that now you got a top contender for the Universal title, and he already made it abundantly clear he's going after Roman Reigns and the Universal title. But then you got the Bloodline and it is the New Day and the Usos again. Oh my heavens. The rivalries, the wars that these these four men have had. And now we might be getting it again? Let's go. That's all I'm going to say. Gentlemen, any thoughts on the draft before we move on?
If you heard a loud crack from my area, it was the sound of my heart breaking losing Drew McIntyre. But I know, MF, if I know you, you were probably bouncing around like Tigger when you saw that, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, as for the draft picks, they broke up New Day again. Sure, it's important to get Big E over on his own, but the last few weeks of mini reunions helped remind the audience just how significant a part of programming New Day is and how damn fun they are together. A bit of a disappointment, but, I'm glad we have the singles Big E there. And, Smackdown wins this round mainly because of McIntyre alone. Orton and Riddle staying on Raw. No surprise, they are the tag team champions after all. And then and then from there we and again Edge. I mean, a legend, a Hall of Famer. He can definitely be a veteran presence and could definitely be a great veteran to help get the younger talent over on Raw. So I'm definitely for that. So that's all I can really say about that. I mean, MF, you wanted it, you got it. You wanted Drew McIntyre, you got him. And I think we may have found the one who could finally eventually dethrone Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion.
I agree.
Maybe WrestleMania in Jerry World. Maybe even sooner. Who knows? But that's just my thought. Michael Bullock, if you want to chime in, feel free.
Yeah, the Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown. I mean, doesn't come as a surprise because I heard rumors that maybe that he was going to get drafted to SmackDown, and that's what we got here. And yeah, I mean, Kofi and Xavier going to SmackDown, and basically they're going to renew the rivalry with the Usos. I mean, eventually, but yeah, and Edge basically going to Raw as that that veteran presence, and of course keeping RK Bro there, obviously as the Raw Tag Team Champion. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
Yeah, then we had a promo by Edge, interrupted emphatically by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, you dastardly, no good, evil SOB. How dare you do what you did? You went to the home of Edge and Beth Phoenix, the Copeland household, and Anthony Florio. Yeah, go ahead. Put your mic on. It's yours. It's yours.
Oh, it is? Okay. Oh, I didn't know it was my turn. All right.
Yeah.
I was going to the only thing I was going to really say was they went there.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely. So I don't think there's any more to add. So yeah, Florio, it is yours.
Segment of the night. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, the only thing that's, holding this back, there's only one small little gripe that I have. The only thing that, doesn't put it over, that prevents it from going over the top, was the lack of selling of any injury on Edge's part. Here's a guy that was so beaten and battered 3 weeks ago in Madison Square Garden that he was stretchered out of it and had his career called into question. Tonight, there was absolutely no sign that anything was ever the matter with him. That failure to pay attention to detail hurt. However, what did not was Seth Rollins' performance. Absolutely over the top, ridiculous and campy. He was brilliant as he broke into his rival's house and destroyed the sanctity of his home. He's so smarmy, so unlikable, and despicable that you cannot help but want to see Edge beat the living hell out of him. He will in a high-stakes match, and all will be right with the world. Rollins will be just fine because of stuff like this that inspires fans to feel one way or the other about him. And that is a trait that cannot be taught. They went there. Oh boy. I mean, this is taking they went there to a whole new level. I mean, MF, I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen angles like this where we've had home invasions. There are two that come to mind. If I'm missing any, feel free to catch me up. Of course, the most notorious of them all went down about 25 years ago. The whole Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brian Pillman incident on Monday Night Raw. Pillman 9mm, we all remember that, and definitely the most controversial angle maybe in the history of WWE, right there, no doubt. But the other one. And this was one that MF and I had a lot of fun with. And this was back when MF and I were doing the Raw chats back in the day. MF, do I even need to remind you about the infamous home invasion of Triple H and Randy Orton?
Oh.
How much fun did we have with that?
Yes. We did.
How much fun did we have with that, man?
We did. We had a lot of fun with that.
Oh. And that was part of what was really good build. I mean, those are the two that immediately come to my mind. And then there is another one, and it wasn't you had the Undertaker and the Ministry of Darkness at the McMahon house during the Attitude Era. I remember that vividly, but I don't remember much of others. But those are the ones that really stand out to me. The Stone Cold Brian Pillman, and of course Triple H and Orton. Those were the two that really stand out here. But, this was just Seth Rollins, literally, soiling the Copeland household without Edge, without Beth Phoenix, and without Edge and Beth's daughters, Lyric and Ruby. And, oh, lordy. I mean, the door was completely unlocked. I mean, if you're gonna leave, if nobody's gonna be home, if you're gonna leave your house, notice for you: lock the damn door and activate your home security alarm system should you have one. Perfect tip. I know it's an angle, but just a little public service announcement. So. And I told that to Bullock during our Smackdown chat. I said that to Bullock, didn't I, Bullock? Didn't we talk about that? So
yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
And you agreed with me. I said if you're gonna leave, if there's gonna be nobody home, lock the damn door, and activate your home security alarm system should you have one.
And another thing too, call the damn police.
Yeah,
Pat McAfee alluded to that.
Yeah, Edge mentioned a couple of guys named David and Daniel. Maybe they're security guards. I don't know, but you don't call Gestapo security guards. You bring in the heavy hitters. You bring in the cheese on this one, baby. So that's really all there is to say on that. And you saw how frantic Edge was. Edge, he immediately got a hold of Beth Phoenix and said, "Don't go home. Seth's there. Go to your brother's house. I don't care about the groceries." So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But there's going to be one more match. I mean, my gut's telling me it's going to be in Saudi Arabia, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But for right now, though, I mean, what a great segment, though. I mean, the only thing that bothered me, though, like I said, was Edge's no selling of what happened to him 3 weeks ago in the Garden. But other than that, even though it rubbed us the wrong way, from a personal standpoint, from a professional standpoint, for Seth Rollins, this was one of his personal best moments. So, well done, even though we don't condone it. So, that's all there is to say on this segment of the night. Michael Bullock, all kidding about that PSA aside, great segment. From a professional standpoint, this was Rollins' best, personal best. Ranks up there. But personally, something we cannot and will never condone.
Yeah, like you said, this professionally, this was one of Rollins' best, and obviously, yeah, this was one of his best. But personally, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, and I mean, look, WWE. I mean, I know you're trying to get Seth Rollins over as a monster badass heel, but there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it. And I don't know about you guys, but this to me was the wrong way to go about it. I mean, invading someone's home and doing all that. Ugh, no, that's just something I cannot and will not accept. And you know this is going to lead to another match between these two. And I think it's going to go down at Crown Jewel. So, yeah. Professionally, this was a damn good promo, but personally, it rubbed me the wrong way. I don't care what anybody says. And Fletch, as I give it to you, like I said, there's a right way and a wrong way. WWE could have, you could have gone the right way of making Rollins look like a badass heel, but they went about it the wrong way, in my personal opinion. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah. All right. So, with that said, then we go into the next. Well, there was no match, so I'm gonna throw this one out. Then it was the third round of the draft, and this is where, if you're SmackDown, the wheels partially came off the wagon. SmackDown selects Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. They're staying on SmackDown. On Monday Night Raw, they selected the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. All right, fine, no problem. Then a bomb. SmackDown, second pick, they dipped in the pool of NXT. Hello, Michael Bullock. And we select Hit Row, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Top Dollar, B-Fab, and Ashanti the Adonis. Oh my goodness. Game changer on that one. The first domino to drop. The first person to get plucked from the NXT pool. And then Monday Night Raw ended the round by selecting the Bearcat, Keith Lee. So Keith Lee stays on Raw. Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley, they both stay on Raw. Unfortunately, we're going to have to still deal with Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. But this is the big one. We snatched Hit Row from NXT to SmackDown. Anthony Florio, I got to give Raw the victory on this round just because of the talent themselves. However, I am loving the Hit Row pick.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it. The picks themselves were mostly okay, with the most notable being Hit Row, making the jump from NXT to Friday Night SmackDown. Isaiah Swerve Scott, Top Dollar, Ashanti the Adonis, and B-Fab have been excellent on Tuesday nights. So the idea that they are about to make an impact on the main roster is more than exciting. The world is theirs if they're given a fair shot. And unfortunately, you still have to deal with Corbin and Moss. Good. That's all I can say. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that one. I mean, McIntyre, yes. McIntyre, I'm going to lose sleep over that one. But the other one, this time around, no. You can have them. That's all I can say on that. They're your problem, MF. Sorry. But hey, and for Raw, we the women's tag with Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley getting drafted to Raw. That means as of this moment, the women's tag team titles are exclusive to Monday Night Raw. So that's a win for us. That means the women's tag team titles reside with the Red brand. I'm very pleased about that. And And Keith Bearcat Lee, I mean, it's a new persona. I think they're going to build him up as a monster badass heel. I mean, which is a little surprising considering how ridiculously over he was in NXT. Hasn't really done much on the main roster, but hopefully this will be the start of bigger and better things for him. Maybe a heel run could do wonders for him. I don't know. I hope so. I'm very high on the guy. I mean, nobody more so than Bullock because he was a major mainstay on NXT. He made a lot of history over there, and so that's really all there is to say on this. Okay round, slight edge to Raw, even though there were stayers. Even though we didn't get any shakeups, but hey, the women's tag team titles stay on Raw. I'm happy, and Bearcat Lee, maybe this will be the beginning of a monster heel run because I heard they wanted to repackage him as a monster badass heel, and I think that could work. So we'll see. But nonetheless, a fine round. Okay, so Michael Bullock, how about it? One of your big time, one of your current mainstays of NXT 2.0 is main roster bound Hit Row going to Friday Night SmackDown. You couldn't believe it when I told you.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Fletch. I mean, you're really gonna love Hit Row on SmackDown. I mean, what they're doing right now is really something. So, yeah, some of the picks were definitely okay, but yeah, I mean, Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley staying on Raw, and obviously Keith Lee staying on Raw too. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to add to this. So Fletch, it's yours.
All right. So with that said, right after that, we had an 8-man tag team match, as it was the New Day. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods joining with the Street Profits. They went up against the Alpha Academy and the Dirty Dogs, and it was the New Day and Street Profits winning the match 9 minutes and 40 seconds. I guess we can go. Who leads off on this? Mike Bullock?
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, man. It's yours, man.
Yeah, this was a fine match here. I'll give it somewhere between 2.5 to 3 for the effort here. I mean, obviously a good first showing for the New Day on SmackDown, joining with the Street Profits. I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. So, yeah, there's nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, I thought this was a solid match. This was about 2.5 to 3, solid, no doubt about it. And then Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3 here. As a reintroduction to New Day on Friday nights, this was a lot of fun. It did what it set out to in that it gave Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston a big win right out of the box, but also allowed Otis and Chad Gable to shine as potential first opponents of New Day. The Street Profits impressed in what might have been one of the last appearances as SmackDown talent following Bianca Belair's drafting to Raw, and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode with their typical solid selves. There was nothing not to like here besides its seeming randomness. Given everything else going on with this show, that is small potatoes to say the least. So, second best fight of the night for me, 2.5 to 3 stars. So, MF, I believe we're on to the final round of the draft, correct?
Round 4 of the draft. SmackDown selected Naomi. So Naomi, given a chance, stays on the blue brand. As of now, she will be a part of the crew. Going to Monday Night Raw, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. The family now goes to Monday night. Anthony, good luck. Jeff Hardy goes to SmackDown. This is one that Dee Woodson was pulling for more than anything else. And yes, Jeff gets to go to the blue brand, and he was very excited after the announcement was made to go to SmackDown. And then with the final pick of here for night 1, Monday Night Raw decided to raid the NXT pool. Anthony Florio meets up with Michael Bullock and says, "Hey, Mike, I want Austin Theory." You got him. Austin Theory, the final pick of night one for Monday Night Raw. I gotta say, not bad. Not bad here on round 4. Naomi stays on SmackDown. You can see there's a little bit of a rivalry between her and Sonya Deville. I think that might be starting something really good. The Mysterios kind of worn out their welcome. Their storyline and everything else, Dominic trying to do things on his own, Ray being the overprotective father, being a coach, mentor, son saying, "No, Dad, I don't need you, get out of here." And plus the battles with Sami Zayn were just getting a little bit tiring. Maybe going to Monday Night Raw, fresh start, bigger talent, bigger opportunities now. If you're Jeff Hardy, finally you're back where you belong on SmackDown. Maybe this could be the push that you need, given an opportunity, and to try to stay the hell away from that 24/7 nonsense on Raw. Hopefully, please keep Reginald and the 24/7 belt on Raw. I do not want to see that belt come over to SmackDown. I will be pissed if that happens. And then, of course, Austin Theory, I mean, he's a bright young talent, a bright young blue chipper. So, Anthony Florio, you must be very optimistic seeing Austin Theory on the red brand.
Certainly, absolutely. But MF, open mouth, insert foot. You just gave me some ammo here. I mean, now I hope the 24/7 title goes to SmackDown. That would be freaking awesome. Oh boy, and you got a couple of guys who are perfect for it with Corbin and Madcap Moss. Ooh, but yeah, I mean, oh boy, if SmackDown were to get the 24/7 championship, that would be hella funny. I mean, after the night we've had tonight, oh, that would be the ultimate turnabout fair play. You know, a title that embodies campy comedy, bullfunky nonsense, which has beyond wore out its welcome on Monday Night Raw. I think it could use a change of scenery. I think it could. So we'll have to wait.
No.
Yes. Oh, I'll tell you right now. You think I'm laughing now? If that were to happen, you want to talk about me being impossible to deal with Monday night on Ridiculously Raw. Oh. And if that happens, you're going to have to hold MF back. He ain't going to be Gorilla MF. You're going to get the Cerebral Viper MF, and that's not who you want. So, but anyways, all fun and kidding aside here. I mean, even though I could go on and on about it, but anyways, MF said it. I mean, the draft pick of Austin Theory to Monday Night Raw might be one of the hidden gems of this entire process, as this performer has unlimited potential. Of course, potential doesn't buy groceries, as the great Jim Ross has often said, but he will have opportunities to leave an impression, especially with 3 hours of television at the brand's disposal. I mean, last time he was on Raw, you know, it was up and down. It was a disaster for the most part, but hopefully, you know, he'll get better, bigger and better opportunities here. That's all I can say there. And I mean, that definitely will put a major dent in the way. I mean, you know, with the Garganos and Indy, and I guess you could say Dexter unofficially is now a part of the way now, considering that Dexter and Indy are married. So, you know, maybe Dexter takes Austin's spot in the way. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. So, but yeah, Theory, very good. That is a blue chipper right there. I just hope that he doesn't, you know, he definitely had some issues the last time he was on Raw. Hopefully he'll be better this time. And Mysterio's back on Raw. I mean, we just had him a couple of years ago, and you know, they had that feud with Brock Lesnar. You remember that? And but anyways, I mean, it's good to see them back. I mean, Naomi, you know, this whole thing with Sonya, I mean, that definitely makes sense if you want to further that rivalry, absolutely. And Jeff Hardy, I mean, you could say this is their veteran presence. I mean, Edge is going to be our veteran presence on Raw, and MF just got a big time veteran in the charismatic Enigma Jeff Hardy. I think he could be used as just like Edge, that veteran presence that could get the younger talent over. And I mean, not his first time on SmackDown. He had a lot of success on SmackDown, especially 2008 when he won the WWE Championship. And then in 2009, 2 reigns as the World Heavyweight Champion over there. And he definitely had more single success on SmackDown than he did on Raw. But yeah, big moment for the charismatic Enigma. He'll be the veteran presence for SmackDown like Edge will be for Raw. So yeah, not a bad round. And as far as Theory is concerned, I'm not overly excited about it, but I'm hopeful that this run will be better than the last one. Hopefully he'll keep his nose clean and this time he'll straighten up and fly right. And he does that, then maybe bigger and better things could be on the horizon for him, provided they don't waste him and he doesn't get lost in the shuffle. That's my only concern. But other than that, I'm fine with it. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on the final round?
Yeah, I thought it was an okay final round. I mean, I agree with you what you just said, Florio, about Austin Theory. I mean, I really hope that this time around with this run, I really hope that things will be better for him. But we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to add to it. So Fletch, I give it to you.
All right. Then it led us to the main event of the evening, as it was Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Sasha Banks wins the match, 13 minutes and 20 seconds. Solid main event match. Yes, it was a little bit of an overbooked finish because of the fact that Becky Lynch was at ringside and she did get involved. That helped Sasha win the match. But all in all, it was still a fine match. This was 3.5 stars. Yes, nowhere near their epic match at WrestleMania. WrestleMania was leaps and bounds better. I think it was like 4. I think Anthony and I think Michael Bullock, I think we gave it like 4. We gave it like a 4-star rating for WrestleMania, where this was solid 3.5. But if you also notice, Charlotte made an impact. She laid everybody out at the end. She laid out Sasha, she laid out Bianca, and stood tall at the end. What a way to introduce yourself, Queen. I bow down to your greatness. Queen, welcome home to SmackDown Live. Anthony, it's yours.
3.25 stars is going to be the rating here. I was going to give it 3.5, but that overbooked finish at the end, I'm going to dock it a little bit. The match itself was solid, but this was the fight of the night anyways. I mean, the match itself was solid, if not up to the standard of their WrestleMania showdown. Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks worked well together, each spot intensifying before the finish, in which Becky Lynch grabbed hold of the EST's ponytail and cost her the win. The finish added heat to Belair and Lynch's ongoing rivalry over the SmackDown Women's Championship, while Charlotte Flair's attack on Sasha Banks following the bell presumably sets them on another collision course for the Raw Women's Championship. A segment that highlighted some of the biggest, brightest stars on the roster and propelled their stories forward. This was exactly what you want out of a show closer. And we have to make one thing clear. I should have mentioned this from the get-go. MF should have mentioned this from the get-go. The new draft rosters do not go into effect until after Crown Jewel. That's in 3 weeks. October 22nd. That's when the new rosters of both SmackDown and Raw will go into full effect. So we'll probably be seeing cross-flex promotioning here over the next few weeks until we get to the Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia on October 21st. Special start time, 1 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. So, that's all I can say here. 3.25 stars. Fight of the night. Michael Bullock nowhere near as excellent as the Mania match, which we rated 4.25 to 4.5, as I recall, when we did our night one recap, the one that I hosted in place of MF. So go back on my archives and look at that. But for right now, Bullock, this match was technically 3.5, but it's going to be 3.25 because of the finish.
Yeah, it's 3.25 for me as well. I mean, just because of that BS finish. So yeah, and the Queen basically making a statement, basically taking out both Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. So yeah, so an interesting way to close out the show. So yeah, there's nothing else for me to add to it. So let's get into our overall thoughts on this this edition of SmackDown.
Anthony Florio, you lead off.
Solid 7 out of 10. Some of the matches could have been better. I mean, we had a couple of good matches. I mean, Sasha and Bianca was the fight of the night, even though it was nowhere near close to WrestleMania. You know, yeah, that 8-man tag was very solid. I could have done without the Corbin and KO stuff, but you know, it is what it is. The draft picks, the draft round pick moments did their job. Not too many bombs, but there were bombs anyway, but not as many as we were hoping for. Maybe hopefully we'll get some more major bombage on Monday night, but yeah, and of course the Edge and Rollins segment, that was well done. Angry Edge, always the best Edge, we all know that. And but because of some of the draft bombs and a couple of the segments and a couple of solid matches here, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. Solid 7 out of 10. I can go in. So there isn't really much to say. Now Monday night, and Monday night will be night 2 of the draft, and Bill Goldberg is going to be in the house. So definitely a big night coming up Monday in Nashville. So not much more. 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. I mean, I basically, yeah, it was a fun. I mean, you had some good matches, but obviously, the draft was definitely the highlight of the whole show for me. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
7 out of 10 as well. It is now time that we dive in to AEW Rampage, as it was and here we go. Started off with Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson. Bryan Danielson wins the match. As he wins the match, 15 minutes and 38 seconds. Solid opening match. Definitely great battle, great fight. 3.5 stars, easy. I can call that. You could even go 3.75 here. It was a solid match. It was slow in a couple of moments, but it really did pick up, especially towards the end. Good opener. Anthony, it's yours.
Good opener, great opener. That's all there is to say on that. This to me was the fight of the night. This was a very good match with a steady pace and some solid technical work from both competitors, but the ringside shenanigans were a bit much at times. The bout didn't have the same level of urgency as Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega at Dynamite Grand Slam, but it didn't need to. This performance felt completely different in a good way. We will likely see Bryan Danielson continue to battle various members of the Super Elite until the Cleaner gives him the rematch he wants. Matt will probably be his opponent next, unless Tony Khan wants to give Brandon Cutler or, God forbid, Michael Nakazawa some ring time. But anyways, 3.5, teetering on 3.75 of a star. This to me was the fight of the night. Very good match. No surprise. You knew they were gonna deliver. And but the next match really will be Wednesday night on on Dynamite on the campus of Temple University, the Liacouras Center in Philly, where Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage, and the Jurassic Express team up to take on Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, and the Young Bucks, and what we all feel is a match that we all feel will steal the damn show. But then again, you have a lot of show stealer potential matches. Every match has show stealer potential come Wednesday night on that big 2-year anniversary show. So 3.5, 3 3/4 fight of the night for me. Michael Bullock, the formerly Yes Man, picks up his first official AEW victory here tonight. Michael Bullock, how about it?
Yeah, it was good to see Bryan Danielson get his first official win in AEW. So 3.5 to 3 3/4. I mean, I could have gone higher, but obviously the outside shenanigans really took away from it. So yeah, obviously all leading to the Elite going up against Bryan Danielson, Christian, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus at Dynamite on Wednesday night. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, next up we had was a sick triple threat women's match. Jade Cargill, Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa. Jade Cargill gets the win. 8 minutes and 58 seconds. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
2 3/4, teetering on 3 stars for this. Seeing these wrestlers take full advantage of the triple threat stipulation by using weapons helped make this bout feel more competitive and a little more important. There were no real stakes, but they made it feel like their pride was on the line. There wasn't much in the way of technical wrestling here. This was a nasty fight, and all 3 women looked great at different points. The only thing that kept it from being better was some of the awkward moments. Jade Cargill is still a little green, so some of the moves she hits don't look as smooth as they will once she has more experience. But 2 3/4 to a solid 3 stars for this. Michael Bullock, long story short, this was most certainly a be a woman fight.
Yeah, this was definitely a be a woman fight here, and yeah, 2 3/4 to 3 stars. I mean, yeah, a nice win for Jade Cargill, and yeah, who knows? Somewhere down the line, she could get a future shot at the AEW Women's World Title. So we'll wait and see how that goes. So nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, I could give this about 2.5. I kind of felt like it was an all right match. Nothing more to say. We'll go into the main event, which was hair versus hair. Jack Evans versus Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy wins the match in 8 minutes and 56 seconds. Mike Bullock, it's yours.
2.5 stars for me. I thought this was a fine match here. I mean, the outcome to me was never in doubt. You knew Orange Cassidy was going to get over on Jack Evans, and obviously, I mean, members of the Hardy group were trying to stop him from getting the chance to cut Jack Evans' hair, but not only you had Chris Statlander and the Best Friends, but you also had the Dark Order there to make sure they didn't get involved. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, 2.5 stars for the main event. I mean, it was all right. It was, like you said, it was a paint by numbers type match. Really nothing more to add. Anthony, go.
2.5. While we know Evans and Cassidy both have the ability to put on decent matches, this was simply a comedic performance. They never even tried to get out of second gear until after the commercial break. This was never going to be a 5-star classic, but it definitely could have been better considering the skills of the men involved. Evans almost seemed like he was holding back. Once again, AEW relied too much on the stuff happening outside the ring. However, ending the show with Best Friends and the Dark Order sharing a hug with Brody Jr. was a nice touch. I'll give it that. So 2.5 stars for this. So let's get into our overall review on that.
Other than the Nick Jackson and Bryan Danielson fight, the rest of the show was a complete and utter wash. It was okay, I guess. but it was nothing to write home about. I really think now more than ever before, unfortunately, AEW has reverted themselves back to the lackluster 1 hour thing, even though I think 2 hours, even though I know 2 hours is a detriment to the both of us, to all of us in the crew, I kind of feel like 2 hours is a better way to handle their show. Even though it would put a lot of strain and a lot of problems for me and the guys. Unless they could move the show to like a Saturday night, do it like Saturday night at 8 p.m., then it'd be great for all of us. Saturday night, then we can do the show on Saturday evenings. We would just have to, we would bump ridiculous. We would do what would happen is
during football season. During football season, we would bump the NFL show to Friday night.
Yeah, and then we can go from there.
Right.
But other than that, I just don't see how it's gonna. I just don't see. It was fine. It was all right. I could give this about maybe another 7 out of 10, and the only reason why I'm giving it 7 out of 10 is because of Daniel Bryan versus Nick Jackson. Because other than that, there was nothing on this show that made me impressed. Not at all. Florio, what's yours?
I'm actually going to go a little lower on that. I'm going to give it 6 to 6.5. Those other two matches definitely dragged the rating down, but Danielson and Jackson was great. That was hands down the fight of the night. And the 1 hour, the only reason why I like the 1 hour format is because, it makes it easier for us and we can keep our show on Friday nights and we don't have to move things around. But however, with the NHL starting up, MF, that's definitely gonna put a damper on some things. We're gonna have to do some more reshuffling like we've been doing the last couple of weeks because of my upcoming commitments. But anywho, we'll get into that maybe behind the scenes if we have time. But for right now, 6.5 for me. Danielson, Jackson, great. The other two matches, average TV quality bouts at best. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, take it home.
Yeah, 6 to 6.5 for me. The Bryan Danielson and Nick Jackson was easily the fight of the night. Everything else was pretty much average. So there's nothing more to say. Fletch, wrap it up.
All right, and we will indeed wrap it up. So we're done for tonight. Monday night, another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Night 2 of the WWE Draft. Of course, it's Tony's Take. 205 Live, Impact Wrestling. And then we're back to normal. Wednesday night Mayhem. Thursday night is NFL College Football Thursday. Cerebral Smack Talk 1 week from tonight. NFL Saturday, back, all in our usual time slots. No Mookie Stinks coming up after this, guys. We're done. We're out of here. Thank you, Anthony Flair. Thank you, Michael Bullock. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Like the video. Leave a comment at the bottom. Share with all your friends on all the social media platforms around the world. We will see you Monday night for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Until then, have a good night, everybody.